Hi, welcome to another video on my BeagleBoard with Ubuntu and controlling the monorail from fischertechnik via the fischertechnik Robo interface. Last time I did some modifications or tried to modify a few things, among which are timing, and I reconstructed the start of the the ground rail. However, it turned out that there was another problem, which is the pressure that has to be put on the rod that takes that connects to the ground. Apart from that, looking at the code, there's a problem, because when I run the program, it so far checks either not digital 6 or digital 6 or not digital 7 or digital 8, which are the starters, the start, middle and end signals. And the problem is that when it is 6, it is not 7 and not 8 as well. When it is 6, it can be that the carriage is not in 7 and not in 8 either, but somewhere in between. So by checking just one is missing a lot. So last time I already made a change here, which I commented out so far, which says else if not digital 6 and not digital 7 and or not digital 8 and digital 7. Well, this is an illogical, let's say a very unlogical sequence, so I will change it. So now I have else if not digital 6, digital 7 yes, and not digital 8. So how logical is this rule? There's an interruption in digital 6. There's an interruption in digital 8. That is not logical. So I should say, alright, this one I'm getting out. Not digital 6 means there is an interruption. The rest is over. Fine. So let's go to the other one. What is possible as well? It is also possible to say, I want here, if let's say digital 6 and not digital 7 and the digital 8, because that means that the carriage is in front of digital 7 or at that position. So that is fine as well. Then, of course, there's another option. So let's put it in here. I want the indentation to be correct. and that it is not t-digital 8. That is the other one. So now I have covered all these possibilities. There's more, because they can all be like this. They can all be positive. Now why is this indentation? Probably a problem in my copy action. So this is also very well possible. In between 6 and 7, or in between 7 and 8. So what action should be taken? And then it is of course logical to say, to start with this one. What do we do? Well, this is actually exactly what is happening here, or not. No, because we say here not digital 6. Not digital 6 is this one. So let's take it, copy, and I have to keep in mind the 4 spaces, 1, 2, 3, 4, and this is alright. So this is one that should work. Now let's see for the others. So with this first part now kind of effective, let's look at the other one, because this one, the next, is not t-digital 7. And that is this one. So let's copy it right in here. And now we have to make a nice indent. Indent region, and that goes wrong. One, two, three, 4. That's right. One, two, three, 4. All right. One, no. 1, 2, 3. No, 1, 2, 3, 4. And this is better. So this is actually a situation and not t-digital 7. Then we have not t-digital 8. Well, that is this one. Now it should be possible to get rid of those spaces in one time. Yes. So this is not t-digital 8. But then what to do in the case that everything is valid. That's another point, because then you can ask, okay, where is it and in what direction is it going, because now we have several possibilities. Between 6 and 7 you can go in 2 directions, and between 7 and 8 as well. So it can deal with several with no less than 4 situations. That implies that you have an if direction status is 1, which is away from the controller, and you have a direction status towards the controller. But away from the controller you can still be between 6 and 7 and between 7 and 8. So how do you solve that? Or don't you solve it? I think that is the best way. You just don't solve it. You just say, okay, you have that direction status. You're going that out as soon as not digital 8. Alright, end of track, and you go the other direction. I think that is the wisest thing to do. And the best thing is then to eliminate these possibilities. So let's copy this one. We're dealing with this one, but let's remove it because this is better. This is not correct. Alright. Light beam interrupted by carriage. Yes, but that goes for this one as well. Light beam, in this case, 7 interrupted by carriage. Very important to note it, because this is not digital 7. And then this one goes here as well. And then we say light beam 6 interrupted and light beam 8 interrupted. And then it is time to get rid of this part of the code. So it's time to get rid of the code. Let's start with this one. And well, yeah, let's just take out this part. Comment out. That's very fine. Then, if digital 6, what do you do? Do I have it covered with the new code? No, I don't. Because this part says if this is alright, and I'm not checking the others. So this is still the question, what happens if this one is shining? I want it to go, but that doesn't make sense. I am checking here for 2 different direction statuses. Does that make sense? There's no carriage. In my original idea, you block the carriage or you block the light because the carriage is there, then it leaves the position 6, and then you say, okay, if it has a certain direction status, you go one way or the other. Is that still valid? It is still valid. So if I go down to the new code, which says here, if T-digital 6 and T-digital 7 and T-digital 8, then you do that. I think that is the good way to go. So let's take this. Alright, this is kind of annoying. Then I go to the new code, comment gone, and here I say paste, and then once again I have to manually remove this thing. Alright. The only downside to this change is that it says still T-digital 6. Is that logical? And it says it here as well and here as well. Do I need to change it? I'm not quite sure, to be honest. But for the first part, let me take this part of the code out. Comment out. And then we have another problem, because this is this has become the first if, and it says if not T-digital 7, and that is the same thing I have here, if not T-digital 7. So T-digital 7 here has to go. Although it exactly says if their status is the 7. Do I have that here as well? Let's check it. Effectively, yes. Which means this part of the code has to go as well. And not 6, not 7. Now this is T-digital 8 positive. So it's not here. So let's comment this out as well. Right, whole section is gone. Which means that I have this one left. What to do with it? That's a very good question. If not digital 8, then the carriage is definitely there, and I have here a not T-digital 8. So this one can go. This one as well. Alright. Was that it? Maybe. Let's find out. Now with these changes, will the code work? Answer is no. Because these are now all else ifs. This is one, this is an else if, this is an else if, and this is an else if. And you have to start with an if. So this theoretically would work. And I want to have the comments all being correct. So I want one here as well. But since this is all three positive, all three lights gone or present, no light beams interrupted by carriage. So will these work? With all wires correct, probably. The biggest question is this one. So if the status is 1, going away from the controller, and this makes no sense, of course. This, neither does this, and neither does this, because this all says about digital 6, and we're dealing now with 6, 7 and 8 at the same time. So I can just say very simple, direction status is, and then here the same direction status, and let's say X. Not really a novelty, but then another thing, what do you do? If you get there, if the direction status is something, then you go to the right. However, that doesn't make sense with digital 7. Or is it? I think it is, for now. The only thing we can do is actually test it. See if there's no code in it, or no error in it. So save. Yes, that is on line 93. And I see that there are more errors. This one. Although that makes no sense. No. This one has to go. And this one has to go. This one too. And for now this one too. So let's see how this works out. At least no direct errors. And checking with my hand all the lights, and there's one light off. No, not anymore. Light 7 was off, but that was wiring issue. That is interesting. 8 is 0. Where is that coming from? That is not, yes. That is coming from here. but that makes no sense because there's nothing to interrupt the light beam. Oh, that's an interesting thing. The carriage is now between 6 and 7, not at 8. So why is this going wrong? Now I have my hand in front of 8, now not, and still it says there's no light beam. So this is an interesting thing. I did not expect this. And if 0, and now all lights are off. Alright, this is interesting. Reading the interface, even better. It's not controlled anymore. Oops. So with all this programming, will anything work at all? It should. Although one of the issues is still that when I look here, this is still quite a loose end. Then this is still a loose end. This is supposed to be improved. And anything else, will it work? Well, the error that you've noticed on screen with the 8 is actually on this side, because this is 8 with the light being here, and as you see the carriage is here, and since programming this episode it hasn't moved. So does that make sense? Not really. What can we do? Test it. So I keep it in the same way. It is being addressed now, as you can see from the light right here, flashing steadily, and for some reason it doesn't do anything. Does it need help? Apparently. So that is something I really need to change. Also, what I haven't addressed this time is the little bit of pressure that is causing the speed change. Well, what I can do, and I just think of that now, since I have to press this, I may also put this under this rod. See if that works, because this one is too large. Let me shine some more light. This one is 1, 2 high, and this one is 1, 2, 3 high. And each time I do this, just a little bit of pressure, you hear the difference. Full speed, hardly any speed. That is a bit tricky. And without this being fixed, it's a long wait for the algorithm to actually show that it's accurate. However, the idea that I have to reconstruct this and put this rod here, and I mean this rod under it is of no use, since it will be obstructed by this. So it's no use to reconstruct in that way. What I may do is put something here. Just a very slight weight. It's away from this. And that might just help. One here, one here. Who knows what solution that may be. And in the meantime I get errors, well, I get the message that it is blocking D6, which is logical because that is 6 and the cone of the propeller is blocking it, so that's normal. And when I just move it to 7, what is happening is not that it says 7 is blocked, but on the other hand it's also away from this, which is, as you can see, still interrupting the power, so that is a point of notice. But there's still there are still improvements to go and to make. So apart from programming, yeah, well, enough to improve. For now, thank you for watching. This is has been an exercise in logic and programming, so to say. I already said what needs to be improved. Stability, yes. Program, probably. And material saving by taking longer rods, but that's future. If you like this video, please subscribe to my channel, or if you don't want to subscribe, you can also follow me on Twitter and Instagram. Unfortunately, video links on Instagram are not active. You'll have to copy paste. Apart from that, you can visit my website for more information to make a small donation if you like it, to keep this blog going. The address is at the start of the video and under this video. And this is certainly going to be continued. Bye bye.